And welcome back, guys, to another video of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So let us try and get the new side quest, the Spark.
Easy.
For that to happen, you have to wait 3 in-game days in order for the quest starts. For some reason, well, I don't know yet, but I've waited 4 days, so it is supposed that the quest would be activated now, but we'll see. Let's go over there and see what you got.
Whoa.
If the quest is not available yet, let's see.
What do you want?
Yeah, nothing.
See you soon, my friend.
Nope, he doesn't have anything yet. So I have to, after 3 days, there will be someone with a message that will come to me and the quest will start. But for now, we don't have anything. Yep, we still have to wait. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go with start with the 5th commandment, which is gonna be right here. All right, Gutenberg. Let's fast travel over there.
Good doggy. Good boy.
Easy. Good.
Let's see. Yeah, it's on the monastery.
Whoa.
Good horsey. All right, let's go inside.
So, let's see what we have here. My God! Someone really did a number on her. Oh, they ripped open her entire belly. And they didn't stop there. There must have been buckets of blood. Jesus Christ. There's hardly any blood left in her. The place I found her must look like a slaughterhouse. I should go there and take a look. Her lips are bloody, but nothing more. Tongue still in place. But if he killed her for blabbing, I reckon he'd have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? These are more like chops than cuts. Somebody must have taken a sword to her. Knife wounds would be smaller, and an axe would have made a bigger mess. But it couldn't have been a long sword. That would have been clumsy. It was something shorter and nimbler. God, that madman cut off both her breasts and bits of flesh. But what did he do with it all afterwards? Did he really keep all the pieces? Nobody could be that sick, could they? Her face is a little bruised and cut, but nobody cut her there. But she has a dark ring around her neck. Was she strangled? The murderer must have had pretty strong hands, and her hair is all matted with blood and hacked off. I don't even know what colour it was. Maybe there's something more to it. What if the murderer kept her hair like some kind of sick trophy? Just some scratches and bruises, that's all. The killer probably surprised her. She didn't even have time to defend herself.
My poor girl.
So, the murderer must have awfully strong hands, because he strangled her and left a dark ring around her neck. Then he took a short sword or saber and started hacking at her. She's missing parts of her torso, but they aren't by the body. He also cut off most of her hair. cut off her breasts, but left her tongue. Then left her lying there for all to see. To send a message, maybe? Or a warning? Only if it was a warning for telltales, he would have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? I don't know why he killed her, but I don't think it's because of Catherine. What's the matter? Did you know her?
Alice. She was almost like a sister to me. We served together for years in the same house. Why'd you ask? Who are you?
I'm trying to find out who did this to her. I'm afraid the killer might want to go after my friend as well.
Ah, I understand.
Who did you serve?
Our master is a local merchant. He is trying his hand at trading wine.
How did Alice get along with your master?
Fine. Just like with everyone. Our master is a bit strict, but he's fair.
What's his name? Can I speak to him?
Why? But you can't see him anyway. He's on a trade trip to Prague.
It occurred to me that maybe he could have done it.
No, he couldn't. He was gone when it happened. He hadn't been home in several weeks. And besides, why would he kill them others too? He never even knew them.
What others?
You haven't heard. A few girls, like our Alice, died before. All really pretty girls.
Do you know of any suitors she might have had?
I know she was seeing someone. Why?
I'd like to talk to him as well.
But I don't know who it was. Alice said he was rich and dressed nicely. But she promised him she'd never tell anyone his name.
And you never saw him?
No, never. I don't even know where she met with him.
Do you know what exactly happened to Alice?
No. Nobody saw or heard nothing. One day she just didn't come home. And then they found her. Like this.
It's awful what they did to her.
She was such a pretty girl. And that beautiful brown hair of hers. And it didn't even leave that untouched. Who could have cut off her hair like that? And why? None of it makes sense.
So, I'll leave you to mourn in peace now.
Okay. So the first person just talked to her. Now let's talk to the priest.
Careful.
You must be the local gravedigger.
That's right. They call me František. At least them that can speak do.
I'm Henry.
Greetings, Henry. What do you need?
That dead girl you have in the morgue. Alice.
You've seen her? Poor thing. Who could have done such a thing?
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out. Do you know anything about her?
She's gone to meet her maker. What more do you want to know? You want to take away a piece of her? Well, you can't. Not a hair off her head, a bloody scrap of cloth or a thumb. You hear?
Well, I don't want to take anything. I need to find something out.
Like what exactly?
Who killed her?
Why?
I'm in service of the Lords of Lipa. I'm to find out who was responsible for this murder.
What do the Lords of Lipa care about a dead girl?
Truth be told, not much. But it's at the request of her master.
Ah, that makes more sense. At least someone is trying to sort this out. The others weren't so lucky. It's true that Lumiere ain't shown no interest in her yet. I wouldn't expect that from him no more.
Who's this Lumiere? Another one of those gawkers and collectors?
No, no. He actually tried to help.
Help? How?
Well, he was investigating them others.
Right. You said she wasn't the first.
Aye. We had a couple of similar cases. Lumiere said they was all killed by the same murderer.
And how did he come to that conclusion?
How do I know? Best ask Lumiere yourself.
Do you remember how many girls were killed?
You mean you don't know nothing about it? Here, even the sparrows are squawking about it.
I haven't been in Kuttenberg very long.
I see. There's been one every few weeks for the past year.
Do you know where the last one got killed?
I heard some talk about it when they brought her here. But what do you want to do there?
Look for clues. Footprints, blood, anything.
That can help you.
That's worth a try.
I heard she was killed by the town walls, close to the Hole in the Wall, a dodgy tavern in the Hoprink neighborhood.
Thanks. What's this Lumiere got to do with this?
Well, like I told you, he used to work for the bailiff. I think he was a scribe.
A scribe keeps records in the Black Chronicle. Though I've never heard of one doing his own investigations.
Well, the old bailiff wasn't all that interested in the common folk. But Lumiere, he was quite helpful. Folk heard about it and went to him with whatever was troubling them.
I'd like to speak with Lumiere. Do you know where I can find him?
At his home in Bohemia Street, that's near the church. You won't find him at the bailiff's no more. I don't know exactly why, though. Seems he had some quarrel with the bailiff.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
It's my pleasure, especially helping someone from the land of the living again. Actually, wait a mo. Speaking of the living, there's a girl what comes here and grieves over that dead maid. I think her name is Barbara.
I know. I've already spoken to her.
Aha. Good then. Lots of luck to you.
I was told I'd find the best fighter far and wide here. I don't suppose that's you.
Do I look like some kind of pushover? I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
But I'm glad you're an ordinary mortal. From what I heard, it sounded like I was going to be fighting a bogeyman.
Oh, aye. It's not like it used to be here. All the bogeymen moved away long ago.
How does a city gravedigger like you become the best fighter in the area?
From necessity. The cemetery looks like a quiet place, but at night it can get pretty lively.
So I wasn't far from the truth with those ghosts.
I take good care of the cemetery, so the deceased rest in peace and wouldn't even think of haunting anyone. But I'm always chasing out drunkards and young couples who disturb the peace and quiet here. Mine and all those under the ground.
Do you still go and fight people just for fun once in a while?
I used to do it all the time. I went to the tavern after work and picked a fight with whoever crossed my path. I've even spent a few nights under lock and key when I overdid it.
That sounds like quite a wild youth.
Water under the bridge. I've turned a new leaf. I'm even on the bailiff's good side nowadays. That's because I can handle guarding this place all on my own.
I challenge you to a fight. Man to man.
Now, in broad daylight. Someone will see us and there'll be trouble. Come at night. It'll be quiet and no one will disturb us.
All right then.
Alright, so we'll have to come back here at night and fight him. Let's see, we had some new discoveries. Let's see. Go and see Lumiere. What is it? Okay, there it is. Go to the crime scene, optional. Oh boy, that's really far away. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna teleport here because I'm lazy. It's closest to the spots that we gotta go. And since it's optional, I prefer doing that first. And then I'll go talk to Lumiere. Yeah, and unfortunately I cannot drink for some time. Because as you can see, that
Nice and slow.
left symbol over there, it's telling me that I have a drinking problem. So for a few hours, probably in the next day I can go back drinking, but for now I can't. Let's see here. All right. I can show you. Let me see here. Buffs. Saliva. You have a mild alcohol habit. but so far it had no consequences for you. Long-term abstinence will cure you. So, you're gonna have to stop drinking for now.
I'm thinking of buying a rowboat. Maybe a pump.
Whoa, whoa.
So I don't drown in all this shit. Last time it rained for a week straight. We were up to our knees in a river of shit.
This is the place. There's a lot of blood and some footprints. I'm not sure how much more I'll be able to find. Christ, that's a lot of blood. But after seeing what they did to the girl, I'm not surprised. I can't make anything out of this. The whole town's been walking around here. There could have been one killer or a dozen. I'm surprised I haven't completely trampled out the blood. I'm not sure I'll be able to find any remains. I wonder what happened to them. It's hard to make out, but I think I see some slashing from a blade. So, there's still a lot of blood left, but I expected even more. I found some faint blade marks. Either the others were trampled out, or someone skilled was wielding it. It didn't look to me like any remains were left lying around. I've no idea what he did with them. Did he keep them or throw them away?
Okay, we have came to the crime scene.
Premonition. What premonition?
Slowly. Nice and slow.
Now let's go talk to Lemire. Which is gonna be like a big walk, so way faster like this. Well, I was thinking on going normally and just pausing the record just to skip it, but yeah, fuck it. Let's just do this.
Christ, wounds! Mind where you're
Slowly.
going!
Nice and slow.
Ow! Don't you see me walking here?
Lemire, there you go.
Oh, Christ, my head. Not so loud.
I need to ask you something.
I said not so loud. I have a splitting headache.
That's some hangover. He's useless to me like this. Unless I'm willing to wait for him to sleep it off, I'll have to get him some kind of cure or potion. This should sober him up.
Ah, crap, I don't have anything.
No, not that. Ah, nothing like a little hair of the dog that bit you.
More booze. Christ. I'm gonna puke.
Drink up. It'll make you feel better.
Better already. Wait, what? What are you doing here? Who are you?
My name is Henry.
And what do you want from me?
I'm trying to find out who killed a certain girl. And I was sent to you.
To me? What for?
Are you Lemire from the rat house? The scribe?
I used to be. Now I'm just Lemire the madman.
Well, you don't look crazy.
Yeah. But I am. I see things in my head that aren't real. And then I point my finger at the wrong people. I'm the biggest madman in Gutenberg.
But I need your help.
If I were you, lad, I'd leave it be. You can't help that girl anymore, anyway. You'll just end up hurting yourself.
Come now, Lemire.
Poor girls. Nobody was all that interested in it, except for me. We let it be in the end. We let a monster walk among us. No way. You can't solve this yourself.
She deserves justice. I simply can't let her killer run free.
You mean well. But you don't know what you're getting yourself into. I searched high and low. And what did I get out of it? Just mockery. What makes you think you can find out more than I did?
Let's see if we can get him choose.
Because I'm stubborn, and I don't have any other choice. I'll get to the truth no matter what.
You think that will suffice?
If not, I'd have been dead long ago. Bled out from a human arrow.
All right. Talk to me. Who was this dead girl?
Her name was Alice. She worked as a maid.
A maid? That fits. Yarka was a maid too, as were most of the other victims. What did she look like? What did he do to her?
I think that he strangled her first, and then went at her with a longer blade and disemboweled her.
Did you notice the strangulation right away? It took me a while. Maybe you really will track him down.
Do you think it's the same murder?
Counting your girl, that makes 6 victims who were first strangled and then mutilated. If it's not all the same person, they must be collaborating somehow.
This is the 6th one. How long has he been killing?
Probably about a year now. Sometimes it takes him months, sometimes weeks. But I'm including missing girls, Stanya and Zdena.
Did the dead girls have anything in common?
Aside from being pretty young girls with no proper family or background, no. I couldn't find much.
Do you think somebody is killing them because they're poor and nobody will miss them?
Certainly. If somebody killed the daughter of a local lord, no stone would be left unturned.
But why does he even kill in the first place?
I don't know. Maybe he hates women. Damn it. I feel like I'm going in circles and can't get out.
What can you tell me about Yarka?
She wasn't the first. But thanks to her, people started taking an interest. She was a maid in a German family. By all accounts, she was a pious, polite girl. She was orphaned as a child. The priest from the church of St. Peter and Paul, Father Prokop, raised her. They found her body tossed behind a barn at the edge of town. She was cut all the way from her neck downwards. An awful sight to behold.
Did you have any suspects?
At first, I thought the son from that family did it. The murderer is usually someone close, you know. But then I changed my mind.
Why?
Well, for one, I remembered the 2 girls before her who ended up almost the same. Besides that, when I talked to the lad, he seemed he wasn't the least bit interested in Yarka. Then his mother told me that they threw her out a week before the murder because she was a harlot who stayed out till all hours of the night. That really surprised me, because Father Prokop had vouched for her good reputation. But who knows? Maybe he just didn't want to admit what had become of her.
What about Stanya?
She was an alehouse wench in a tavern of ill repute called the Hole in the Wall.
You said her body was never found. Maybe she just got out of town.
You have no idea how much I'd like to believe that. Only there was a lot of blood. Unfortunately, the investigation wasn't very successful. The Hole is a world of its own, and the people there aren't very forthcoming with information.
Did you suspect anybody?
You could suspect every second man there. Those people have nothing but thievery and deceit in their eyes. The innkeeper, Mole, definitely knew Stanya, since she worked for him. But he isn't all that chatty either.
So if I want to learn anything more, I have to ask this Mole? In the hole?
Yeah, he still runs the place.
And what about that Zdena? You said her body was never found.
Exactly. But to tell the truth, nobody spent much time looking for it. Besides Alice, Zdena was the most recent victim. It's only been a few weeks since she went missing, but I suppose nobody wanted to do any more digging.
But if her body was never found, how do you know she was killed?
Because she was the same type as the other girls. Maybe the prettiest of them all. Young, beautiful. A real live one. Lively as the devil. She was a thief. A pickpocket. I never could pin it on her, though. She always found some way to get out of it.
Maybe she robbed the wrong people and had to get out of town.
Maybe. She had a partner in crime by the name of Strunad. Quite a number. He's always sitting in the hole, boozing. When I asked him about Zdena, he told me he'd rather rip his own tongue out than talk.
Do you think he'd be more forthcoming with me?
He might be. You're not known all over town like a catchpole. It's worth a try. Besides, it might still be fresh in his memory. That would be a great help.
And what about the other 2 victims?
It all started with them, though nobody did much about it at the time. The first one worked as a bathhouse maid. They called her Chestnut. She'd only been in town for a short while, and nobody really knew her. So I couldn't find out anything more. But the other one, Libushka, she was from Loretz. She was a maidservant, too. I also talked to her mother. She said she was really cheerful and outgoing. There were lots of suitors circling around her, but she refused them all. She knew she was pretty and knew she could do better than some farmhand.
You mean she wanted someone higher up?
That's what it sounded like. But her mother never found out who she had her eye on.
Interesting. I'll try to see what else I can find out from the mother. Where can I find her?
In the graveyard, lad. The poor woman died of grief. It's sad to say, but we can't help those 2 dead girls now. And they can't help us with our investigation either. There's nobody else left who could tell us anything about them.
Why were you looking into it? Who were those dead girls to you?
I don't know what people told you about me, but for many long years I was a scribe for Kuttenberg's bailiff. Kuttenberg is a big city with a lot of people. Silver, silver, silver. Mining it, smelting it, stealing it. There's always something going on. The bailiff was always running from hell to Hades, from one rich man to another, settling their quarrels. Often trivial nonsense.
But there are more than just rich burghers and lords in the city.
Exactly. There are common folk, too. There's a lot more of them, and their troubles are usually more serious. So when one of them came to the bailiff's one time, and the bailiff was running around somewhere, I started to deal with it myself. I was pretty good at it, too.
Behind the bailiff's back?
Not really. Andreas supported my activities until recently.
What happened?
I don't want to talk about it. Sorry.
Did you have any suspects back then?
You can always find some suspect. I always dragged the most suspicious ones to the body in the morgue by force. And they threw up at the sight. Or fainted.
Couldn't it have just been an act?
Fainting? Vomiting? That's hard to act. I'd swear none of them did it.
Can you sum it all up for me?
We have 6 victims here. And I believe they were all murdered by the same killer. Unfortunately, we only know a little about the last 4, the most recent ones. By now, we won't learn anything about the first 2. Of the remaining 4, the first to be killed was the maidservant, Yarka. She was raised by Father Prokop from the Church of St. Peter and Paul. He should know the most about her. The next were Stanya and Zdena. Their bodies weren't found, but we assume they also became victims of the same murderer. They both hung around a tavern they called the Hole in the Wall. Stanya was an alehouse maid, and Zdena a pickpocket. And the last victim is Alice now, also a maid. What they all have in common is that they were young, beautiful, and brunette.
Good. I know everything I need to know.
When you learn something more, stop by and see me. You've aroused a bit of hope in me, lad. I hope you won't disappoint me.
Okay, finally.
I
We
apologize.
finished all this dialogue.
Shan't.
Alright, let's see the points that I gotta go. The 5th commandment. Okay, try to find out what happened to Stania, the Hill House maid, which is right here. No? The hell? The hole in the wall. Okay, that's the one. Then we have the G. Learn more about Stena, the thief's fate. Okay. And then the H. Discover something about Giarca's background. Okay, we are near
As soon as he health freeze over.
Near this one, so
There's something I need.
let me check it out.
Got legs.
Easy,
Going.
easy. Nice and slow. Whoa!
Yeah, that's their mother.
And the
nope.
word was made flesh
What?
and dwelt
Okay,
among
let's talk to him.
Good day to you. What brings you here?
Father, I need to ask you a few questions.
I don't have time for theological discussions, my son.
That's not why I'm here. My name's Henry, and I wanted to ask about the murder that happened recently. Someone killed and gutted a young maidservant and left her body lying by the city walls. And I hear it's not the first time this has happened.
Another one murdered. May the Lord grant her eternal rest. Why is it you ask?
Somebody is murdering maids here. We have to put an end to it.
Yes, but those poor souls are already at God's side, and revenge never...
I don't want revenge. I want to stop more killing. That's a better reason, isn't it?
True enough. What do you need to know?
One of the other victims was a girl named Yarka. But I reckon you know that, don't you? What can you tell me about her?
About Yarka. She was an ordinary girl. She served the von Groll family.
Where did you know Yarka from?
I knew her since she was a little girl. Knew her family.
And?
I was her uncle. When my brother and his wife died, I took care of her.
Who do you think killed her?
William, that pig of Satan. He gambles in the tavern on All Saints' Day and leads the locals astray. Yarka always went there to listen to music.
And does anyone else come to mind? No other man spoke with her?
No, absolutely not.
Why do you think it was William? Do you have any evidence?
Evidence? He's a skirt chaser, a tool of Satan. He messes with poor girls' heads.
You raised her? A priest with a child?
Yes. Unfortunately, I'm not the first of the clergy to have a child on the side. But at least everyone knew Yarka wasn't my own daughter.
What does a priest know about children? Oh, the priests know a lot about children, if you know what I mean.
How does that even work? Did you have her with you at the presbytery?
When she was small, I could. But when she grew up, she had to go. It wouldn't look right.
No offense, but how did you know what to do? Without a wife, without a family? I would have been lost.
I was a bit, When she was smaller, it was fine, but when she grew up a bit, maybe I was too hard on her.
Why do you think you were too hard on her?
Yarka was an orphan, with no family and no possessions. Her only chance of a good life was a good upbringing. And then, a husband. But the more I led her in that direction, the more she resisted me.
You're well off, though. Couldn't you provide for her?
I couldn't. Even if she had been my very own. More so, since she was my brother's.
But how come?
The church's property always remains the church's. They keep a close eye on that.
How did she rebel against you?
She wouldn't listen. She ran away. She ran around with all sorts. And how did it turn out? She died. And in sin. Such a disgrace.
Disgrace? What the devil are you talking about?
She was pregnant! Even if she had lived, what then? Nobody would want to marry her anymore.
Why don't you respect Lumiere?
That's my business. You needn't concern yourself about that. I won't tell you anything.
But this is important. Do I look like someone who's asking out of curiosity?
All right. Lumiere accused me of her murder.
What?
Yes. He slandered me in public.
And how... What happened then?
It turned out he was deranged. How could he even think such a thing? He's finished in Gutenberg.
I've heard enough, Father. I'll be going.
Son, I'll give you some good advice. Don't listen to Lumiere. That man has gone completely mad.
Okay, we discovered something. Okay, now let's fast travel to over there. Man, I can't believe that we are already 37 minutes at the beginning of this quest. We just have whatever we've done so far was just talking.
Oh, you much.
How can I think on doing episodes of 30 minutes if I want to record the story, side quests, tasks, and everything on the videos? I can't do 30-minute videos for this game. That's impossible. Well, unless I do a lot of editing and stuff like that. All right. So first we're gonna talk to the mole.
God give you health, sir.
Boss!
What do you need, sir?
Did Estania work here?
Stanya. Maybe. It depends on who's asking.
My name's Henry.
Names don't interest me. The main thing is whether it's a good guest or a bad guest asking. What kind of guest are you, Henry?
I'm a good guest.
Really? Let's see. Do you know how to recognize a good guest?
By the fact he spends a lot of coin?
Aye. I like talking to them kind of guests. A lot. So, what'll it be, my good man?
So we can pay? You will ask for more and more and more. I think it's the max, it's 50 groschen. Obviously I can, because as you can see up there, I have 31k groschen. I'm a millionaire. But yeah, let's go.
What if I simply paid you and you tell me what I want to know?
Ask away.
I want to know if Stanya works here.
She did. And she don't know more. What's it to you?
I heard she disappeared without a trace. So I'm trying to find out if anyone had anything to do with it.
It's possible. The chamber she was sleeping in here was totally ransacked. The door open. Everything emptied out. And Stanya was gone. All I found were bloody footprints.
Tell me something else.
First, you'll have another beer. Or is it time to pay?
What?
If you want to ask, you have to drink. Didn't you get that?
You're quite the extortionist.
I prefer to be called an enterprising man of trade. So, what'll it be?
I'm getting tired of this. I'll give you the money up front, and that's all you'll get, whether I'm a good guest or bad. Got it? Now you're gonna spin it. Got it?
All right, all right.
Did anybody see what actually happened when Stanya disappeared?
No, it was at night. Nobody saw or heard anything. The tavern tends to be empty at that hour. And you won't meet many people on the street, neither.
What was Stanya like? What can you tell me about her?
A bold woman. One has to be here. Everyone's ballsy here unless you nib it in the bud right away. She was hanging around a bard for a while. I don't know how close they were, but she also had another suitor.
Someone from the city?
No, a charcoal burner. I heard he was from somewhere in the, Verchlitz Valley. I think his name was Barton?
What do you know about that bard?
What about him? He's a minstrel, a skirt chaser. What more can I say? He called himself William. As far as I know, he plays in the miners' tavern in the evenings. But sometimes he shows up here, too.
You think he might have been the one who...
Now that you mention it, he cleared out of town for a while and only came back not long ago. It could be him, all right. I know he met with some odd people and talked about God knows what. Like bloody spies. Besides, you know what minstrels are like. Lasses just flock to them. And like they say, opportunity makes the thief.
Or in this case, a murderer. Apart from those men, did anyone else know Stanya? I mean, more intimately.
Well, I got bad news for you. She had 2 close friends, but you won't get much out of either of them.
Why?
One was hit by a cart, even before Stanya disappeared. And she died. And the other one got married and moved away.
How did Stanya's room look?
The door was wide open. Most of her things were gone.
Blood? Was there a lot?
Not so much. If someone done her in...
Yeah, here he's already talked about that.
Where can I find this Barton?
I already told you. In the Verchlitz Valley.
Could you be a bit more precise?
I don't know that bloke at all. All I know is he's a charcoal burner. So if I was you, I'd look somewhere around the charcoal kilns.
That's all I need to know.
Are we going to have... How can I help?
Alright.
As usual.
We have done here, but we still have one person to talk to.
What kind of pig was sitting here?
Sternad.
Are you Sternad? The one that went with Zdenna?
Who the fuck are you?
Just an ordinary bloke who has some questions.
Well then, piss off. You won't get any answers here. All you're gonna get here is a kick in the teeth.
Better men have tried it than a cock puller like you.
Cock puller? I'll fucking pull your cock clean off. You swine! I yield. Mercy.
Well, had enough?
Fuck yeah, damn it. What the hell do you want from me?
Talk. Where's Zdenna?
The last time I saw her, it's a long time ago. She scored big. Everyone was fucking jealous. She just needed to pawn it off.
And where did she go with her loot? Do you know?
Well, she had some kind of arrangement with this fella called Pint from the mill. The one called Rabstein. She always took the stuff to him.
Do you remember what she managed to steal?
Mainly jewels. Gold and silver. No bloody pewter. She had some fucking huge golden signet ring. A bloke could fuck for a whole month with something like that.
Do you know whose crest was on it?
I don't know. I'm no expert. But it were bloody expensive, that's for sure.
Do you know who she took it off?
She always said she found it on the street. That's because if the wrong ears hear it, you can end up in the shit. Or on the gallows, even.
Did she hang out with any men?
She liked to hang around with that crooner that plays for the miners in that tavern of theirs. Made him sing songs and that. Oh, and once she got in a quarrel with that fucking priest Prokop. That was a laugh.
Could she have run away with that bard?
I doubt it. He was a bit of a milksop. He tried to be all mysterious and played a tough fella, but you could see he was lying. And Zdenna could see right through him, I bet.
Why do you think so?
Because he was getting on my nerves, so I cornered him in a dark alley one time. He ran away so fast, I bet he shit himself.
And what about this priest? Why was he quarrelling with her?
I don't know. He was blabbering some shit about finding her a job, only she didn't want it.
Okay, so we talked to 2 more people and got more information. Oh. So, question William the Minstrel. But I think I'm gonna go... Oh my god, this is far away. Try to find out what happened to Sanya, the Hill House maid. Charcoal burners. Gonna be a long walk. So I think I'm gonna go this way first. Oh boy. I gotta go here? How far is that? Damn! That's... Well, since we are here, we are going over there, we could come here and activate this quest as well. Alright. Let's fast travel here, really fast. Okay. There's my horsey.
Good boy.
Easy, easy. Nice and slow.
I think it's this house right here. If I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, there we go.
I was standing in the yard when I saw this cloud in the sky.
So
It's William, right?
Just like you.
I need to talk to you.
What is it? Do we know each other?
No.
Do I owe you money?
My name's Henry. And no, we don't know each other, and you don't owe me money. But we do have something in common. We have a lot of mutual friends.
What? What do you want of me? I don't have to talk to you.
Really? Where? On the surface of the pond? Or was it in the sky as well?
That calf of ours gave me this...
You don't need to. I can go and chat with the guards instead.
What?
Tell them you're the one hurting those girls.
What? I don't have anything to do with any girls.
Really? You? A notorious skirt chaser? Do you think anyone will believe you?
I just got back to the city. I don't know what you're trying to pin on me, but whatever it is, I didn't do it.
But everyone remembers you. You better spit it out before someone points the finger at you.
Come on. All right, then. Ask away.
Did you know Alice?
I know a lot of Alices. You have to be more specific.
The one they found dead somewhere below the town walls.
Oh, her. I didn't know her, but I heard about it.
I heard she used to go to dances.
Yeah, and? I'm not the only musician in the city. I really didn't know her.
They say she had a rich young suitor. Do you know anything about that?
Me? Do I look rich to you? I get paid in food.
But you could at least pass yourself off as wealthy.
Or I could claim to be the Virgin Mary, but I doubt anyone would believe me.
And did you ever meet Yarka? It was a long time ago, but I heard she used to hang around you a lot. And Father Prokop didn't like it.
Oh, that one. Aye, she was very keen on my company for a while, but then she stopped coming.
Because somebody killed her?
I know what happened was a tragedy, but it wasn't my fault. She stopped talking to me long before that. Honest.
And did you know she was pregnant?
What? Yarka was... That's horrible. Who would kill a pregnant woman?
That's what I'd like to find out. What about the unwilling father-to-be? It wouldn't happen to be yours, would it?
What? Mine? I never even got under her skirt. We just flirted a bit, and then she stopped coming by.
And can you tell me anything else about it?
I don't know anything. It was a long time ago. You said so yourself.
And I hear you knew Stanya.
Which one do you mean?
The alehouse wench from the hole. I heard you had something with her too.
Well, she batted her eyes at me a couple of times when I was still playing there. A nice girl, but I didn't know her much.
And the innkeeper Mole told me a different story. He said you were the one coming on to her.
Fine, we had a bit of fun together. But she was always the one who started it.
And aren't you just saying that because she left you?
Oh, what the fuck, man? They're mixing.
I could have any woman, if I wanted. The innkeeper must have got it mixed up. He's an old drunkard after all. If I was you, I wouldn't
They're trying to use fusion.
And what about Zdena? You knew her, right?
Do I know Zdena? As wild as the wind and always full of life. And those nimble fingers. You always had to check your purse around her.
Did she steal something from you?
A travelling minstrel doesn't have much to steal, but she was well aware of that. She was on the lookout for some better prey.
You don't happen to know who she wanted to rob?
There were lots. Anyone she thought was rich enough who let her ply her charms for a while. Like young von Groller. When he started coming here, she got to him right away. Said she was gonna rob him blind. As far as I know, she didn't succeed. If she robbed a noble like von Groller, word would get around. Look, why are you asking me about all this? You don't seriously think I killed her, do you?
Well, you did know them all.
And? I'm surely not the only one.
That may be true. But everybody knows you're a skirt chaser, and they were all pretty girls. And now, they're dead.
But I had nothing to do with it!
Confess, or this won't end well for you.
What do you mean, won't end well?
If you come clean and get lucky, they'll hang you. If not, you'll get the rack. So, did you do it?
No, I didn't!
Good day.
Good. I believe you. But if any clue leads me back here to you, I won't give you a second chance.
You won't hear about me again, I swear to God.
Okay. This one is completed. So we have 2 more. This one doesn't have a teleporter nearby, right? Oh boy. Yeah, it doesn't have any teleporter. So I'm gonna have to go all the way down here. Okay, no problem. No problemo. I'm going by horse.
Nice and slow.
And yeah, I'm gonna skip this, and I'll see you back at the charcoal burners. Alright, finally we reached the location. It was fast, but I took my time to come here. By the way, if you come here, coming from Gutenberg, down, follow this road. If you come here, there's 2 guys that were doing a sharpshooter duel. Both are dead. One has a crossbow, one has a bow, some arrows and bolts around, and there is a chest with 500 groschen inside. So if you need some money, go there and grab that. Besides that, we came here, just activate this just to get some experience. And now we're looking for the person. He's a bald guy, very different from the rest of the people that are here. Let's see, this guy looks bald. No, it's that fucking hat on his head. Alright, see. I think it's this one or not. It's a fucking head. Okay, he must be around here. Oh, see someone.
At your service, sir.
Barton. I don't think he is called Barton. Oh yeah, it is.
I'm looking for someone named Stanya.
You're in a charcoal camp, fella. What would a woman be doing here?
But you know Stanya, don't you?
Aye. You could say that. Why?
I'm looking for the killer of a girl in town. And I heard that someone also tried to kill this Stanya.
That's true. She told me something like that. But that was a long time ago.
So you don't know what became of her?
I really don't know, mate. But even if I did know, how can I be sure you aren't that killer?
Lumir himself, the Kuttenberg bailiff's former scribe, gave me the task. He was looking into her disappearance, and he sent me to find her.
Well, I don't know. I remember Lumir. He was all right. That's all true, but...
But what? What are you still brooding over?
You seem like the right man for a job like that. Sorry, but after all that happened to Stanya, I like to be careful.
So Stanya is here?
Aye. She's hiding with us. Since that thing happened, she's afraid to even go outside. I don't know what to do with her anymore.
Can I speak to her?
If it'll help you. She's hiding in that cottage, but be nice to her. She's in a bad way. She used to be such a gutsy girl. Until we meet again.
All right. There we go. That was easy and fast. There was not much dialogue than the rest of the other ones. Oh, she might be in this hut over here. There's a door.
My
And there she is.
Who are you? How did you find me? If you came here to finish what you started, I'm not afraid of you. I'll claw your eyes out.
Don't be afraid. Barton told me where to find you.
Barton sent you to me. What do you want from me?
Lumir thought you were dead. I was supposed to find out what happened to you.
Lumir? From the rat house. He sent you.
Exactly. Someone killed a girl in Kuttenberg. Lumir thought it might be connected with you, so maybe you could help us find out who did it.
How can I help you when I haven't been in Kuttenberg since... I don't even know when.
You disappeared from the hole in the wall without saying goodbye. Without a word. What happened?
Someone attacked me when I was coming home from the baths one night. I managed to get away, but I was so afraid. I decided to run away from Kuttenberg.
Did you see who it was?
Not at all. I didn't see anything until he jumped out of the shadows and grabbed me around the neck. And he was terribly strong. I nearly blacked out right away.
And how did you manage to break free?
I had an empty pitcher in my hand, and I hit him with it. He howled and let me go, and I ran away.
Here? To the charcoal burners?
No, first to my room in the hole. I was so scared there. I took what I could and ran. Here, to Barton.
And your lover? What did he say?
At first he was horrified, because I had cut myself on a shard from the pitcher and was all bloody. He's been hiding me here since then.
What was it like working in the hole?
Well, I earned a few groschen, that I did. But I often had to grit my teeth.
How so?
Every single day I had to put up with their lewd remarks. Rich or poor, everyone wants to grope a girl. People, well, us girls have to watch out. We can't just put up with it. And sometimes we have to be tough, especially in a place like the hole. But you can't overdo it either. That's no good.
How so?
Because if you smile at them nicely, then sometimes they leave a groschen, or even two. You have to keep a balance. To look friendly, but unavailable.
You said that rich or poor, they all like to grope girls. Like who?
Truth be told, the hole isn't exactly a good place for a rich man, but young von Groll used to go there for a while.
Is that so? Did he talk to you?
He smiled at me a lot,
so I smiled back. But beyond a few groschen, there was nothing more to it. Then this thieving wench started hanging around him and... Oh, it doesn't matter. But that servant of his didn't like it, tried to drive her away, and so the young lord stopped bringing him with him.
Von Groller had a servant with him?
Aye, a pudgy fella, well-dressed, but had a mean face. He never said a word or smiled, or even said thank you.
You walked home from the baths at night?
What's so odd about that?
Well, at night, the baths are...
Ah, right. I went there after closing. I always brought the girls a pitcher of wine or ale and took a bath while they drank it.
Ah. So that's why you had the empty pitcher you hit him with?
Right. I went there regularly. Every week.
The same way every time?
Aye, always the same way. The shortest one. I didn't want to stay out too long at night.
And who knew that you went by yourself to the baths?
Well, everyone from the tavern, I reckon. I didn't hide it.
Why didn't you go back to the hole?
Just to get murdered there? Are you mad? I'm never going back there. Not until they catch him.
How are you now?
I'm still awful scared. I can't fall asleep knowing that, and I can't even really leave the house.
Do you remember anything important about the attacker? What he looked like? What he was wearing?
I don't know anything. It was at night. He grabbed me from behind, and then I ran and never turned back.
And what about when you hit him? What did he do?
He let me go and cursed.
Aha. And what did he say?
He said Scheisse in German.
Couldn't it have been that innkeeper then? You yourself said he's a pig.
Aye, when he drinks, he turns into a total bastard. All lewd remarks and groping fingers. The lecher. Only when I got to my room, I could hear him snoring. It couldn't have been him.
Couldn't it have been Father Prokop?
Father Prokop? I don't know him.
No, he's pretty old. He preaches in the Church of St. Peter and St. Paul.
I don't know him. And if he's an old man, how strong could his grip really be?
I heard William liked pretending to be a spy. Do you know anything about that?
Aye, I thought it pretty silly. A stupid trick to make himself seem more interesting. Though I reckon he's more likely to attract an arse-kicking than a woman.
Seems you're the only one to survive the killer's attack. I know it isn't easy for you to think about it, but try to remember something else about that moment, or when you were running away. Anything can help us, even if it seems insignificant.
I don't know. It's all like in a fog.
You were walking down the street. Did you notice anything before he attacked you?
No, nothing.
You didn't see anything or hear anything?
Actually, I knew the side street wasn't empty. I heard somebody talking, but when I looked, there was nobody there. So when somebody grabbed me, I completely froze.
Did you understand what they were talking about?
Not at all. But there were two voices. Two of them waiting for me there.
It's difficult, I understand. But I need you to think hard one more time. Aside from those voices and the empty street, what else do you remember?
I didn't hear him at all. And then he grabbed me.
And nothing else? Did he grab your hair?
Well, no. He grabbed me by the throat right away and squeezed. Just for a moment. But I still had a big bruise round my neck for weeks. Barton said the man must have had a terribly strong grip. Like a miner or swordsman.
I reckon that'll be all.
I'm sorry I'm not able to help you more.
You don't need to apologise.
Thank you. Could I ask you for a favour?
If it's in my power.
When you catch that bastard, would you please let me know? So I can finally stop being afraid.
I'll stop by if I can.
Take care then.
All right. Oh, what the fuck? Now for
I thought there was something fishy going on.
the next part that we gotta go. Let's see, this is gonna be a long walk as well. Then we have this new quest. Huh. Okay. Let's see. All right, I think I'm gonna pause the recording here. I think we have time for a little bit. Let's fast travel here, really fast. Okay, that was faster.
Fair maidens and women.
Let's go there then. Really fast.
Quick, go!
Let me see, is that too far away? From here? No, just follow the road. Alright. It would be nice to find some bandits on the way, because I really want to take the dust and the rust out of the sword. That would be nice. Alright, the mill is down here, so you're really close. Let me check the map again. Yep.
Go!
I'm gonna do a small shortcut here.
Good doggy. Good boy.
Okay. The place we gotta go is up here.
God bless you, sir.
Are you Pine?
I am. Why?
I'm looking for his denner.
I don't know any Stenner.
Sternad said something different.
You're a friend of Sternard's, are you?
God forbid. That's all I need. A friend like that bastard. But he was the only one who really knew Stenner.
You're right there. Stenner was always cursing him. He was as lazy as a pig, but always wanted his share.
So you knew Stenner? Can you tell me anything about her?
I know Stenner all right, but she ain't been here in some time. Why are you looking for her? What do you want from her?
I'm looking for her... Back in the city, they think she's either dead or run off somewhere. And you're the last person to see her before she went missing.
Kurva.
What can you tell me about Stenner?
She always had it hard. She lost her parents and her home as a child. She had to learn to take care of herself.
And what about Sternad? How does he fit into this?
Sternard was her guardian angel, as she used to say. If she hadn't been thieving with him, she probably would have ended up a whore. But by sharing with him, she could do what she wanted.
Uh-huh. I'm surprised she stuck with him as long as she did.
That's because she had a hideout somewhere nearby. That's why she'd come to me with her loot, before they taxed her on the spot. And the last time she was here, she said one more haul like this, and she'd be able to go wherever she wanted, to Prague or Vienna.
I heard she wanted to sell you some valuables. Is that true?
Oh, aye. She had a good haul, no rubbish. Mostly jewelry, rings, one signet ring with a coat of arms and everything. She left it all here. I paid her a pretty sum of coin. It was a good thing she had a basket with her, otherwise she couldn't have carried it all.
And what about that signet ring? Do you still have it?
She didn't sell me the ring. She wanted to keep it. Said it'd bring her luck someday.
Do you know what kind of luck she meant? Did you recognize the signet on the ring?
No, I didn't recognize that signet. But all the while, Dana was giggling to herself. I reckon she had her eye on another mark.
Where did she go next from here? You said she had a lot of coin on her.
That she did. She also had a feeling someone was following her. Someone on a horse.
Someone followed her on a horse from Kuttenberg. Did she say what he looked like?
She didn't. At first, she thought it was some wealthy lord out for a ride. But he held back. Never passed by her and...
And did you see him? Did he come all the way here?
No. But Zdenna thought he would show. She even left her scarf here and paid some girl to walk around with it to make it look like she was still here.
And then where'd she go?
She wanted to go the back way, through the woods, so nobody could follow her. Past the woods is a road and a ford across a stream. Next to it is a huge boulder. When it rains, the water can rise fast. The road goes on to Kuttenberg.
Well, if it leads back to the road and there was really someone following her, I reckon if they saw she was long in returning, they could have waited for her at the ford, no?
Fuck! That's quite possible. I made a point of looking, but I didn't see any riders that day, so I forgot about it.
Is Denna's scarf? Do you still have it?
Aye. I wanted to give it back to her the next time she came.
Will you give it to me? I'll try having my dog track her down.
All the same to me. Here you go. But it's been a long time. I don't know if it will help.
And could it have been Father Prokop following her?
What do I know? If he has a horse and fancy clothes. But why would he do it?
I heard he wanted to find her an honest job, but she wasn't interested.
I don't know. She didn't say nothing about that.
And could it have been William?
And who would that be?
He's this bard she was seeing.
I don't know about that. I don't remember her mentioning nobody by that name.
Well, I'll go and check out that ford. Maybe I'll find something there.
I hope you don't. Farewell, sir.
Okay. So, nothing. There's still nothing. Now let's see something here. Okay, there we go. We should go over there. Since it's close, let's just go over there really fast.
Go! Da! Ka! Go!
Not too far away.
What has to be that the point was talking about? I should take a look around here. This must be that basket of silver Zdenna was carrying with her. She wouldn't have just left that here. But where did it come from? Maybe it rolled down the hill?
Okay, don't see anything here. Wait a minute. There's a body.
Poor thing. She didn't get very far. Ugh, she's been lying here a long time. At first glance, this body isn't as mutilated as the others. Unfortunately, I can't tell if somebody strangled her like the others. She's been lying here too long for that, but her head is smashed in. Either the murderer hit her with a rock or dashed her hard against the ground. She must have put up a fight. Or maybe he lost his patience. Oh, she's all stuck to her clothes. They're torn up, but I don't see any cuts. The rips are odd. Like someone was looking for something. Oh, I can't make much out by now, but it seems as if the fingers on her right hand are broken. Did the murderer torture her? Or was he trying to get something out of her hand? Oh, my God. Oh, something fell out of her. A signet ring. Oh, that must be the one she stole. But how did it get inside her? Did she swallow it herself? Or did the murderer shove it in there? Was she trying to hide it? Or was it punishment for stealing? Well, that's enough. But what does it all mean? I'd say she put up a decent fight, and the killer had to improvise, and that's about all I can find out. She's probably been lying here a few weeks, but that ring is a good lead.
Okay, so after this, we're gonna have to go question William, the minstrel, inform Lumir about the investigation, but yeah, it is time for me to wrap up this episode. We'll have to continue the rest of the quest on the next one. So yeah, there's gonna be like probably 2 episodes completing this quest. So I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye everyone.